A Visit from St. Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, by C. Clark Moore. Clement Clark Moore was born in New York City in 1779, just 3 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence, an historical accomplishment which signaled the United States' independence from its English sovereign. The son and only child of the Episcopalian Reverend Benjamin Moore, Clement was capably tutored at home until he entered Columbia College. Following the legacy of his father, he graduated in 1798 at the head of his class. Not only was a paternal love of learning passed from father to son, but also a reverence for religion. Following graduation, C. Clement Moore went on to teach at the General Theological Seminary, where he was a professor of Oriental and Greek literature from 1823 until he retired in 1850. During his lifetime, Moore wrote on a variety of subjects, including linguistics, history, and translation studies. However, it was not these, his more erudite pursuits, that gained him worldwide recognition. Instead, it was a poem that he claimed to have written for his own children entitled A Visit from St. Nicholas, arguably the best-known verses ever written by an American. First recited to his family on Christmas Eve in 1822, possibly whilst they were snug in their beds, with visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads. The verses became increasingly popular after being published anonymously the following year. It was not until 1844, over 20 years later, that Moore was credited with penning this Yuletide poem, and because initially anonymous, others attempted to claim authorship. One such claimant was the great-grandson of Major Henry Livingston, Jr., who spent many years trying to establish that his great-grandfather was in fact the author, even though contemporaneously Livingston made no mention of A Visit from St. Nicholas, nor had his friends heard of his connection with the verses. Several magazine and newspaper articles appeared, especially during the 1940s, further debating this authorship. Today, many scholars give the credit of A Visit of St. Nicholas to Livingston. However, even given this controversy within academic circles, the poem is still published under the name C. Clement Moore. Why not sit down with your own family and indulge in the reading of this timeless Christmastide classic by downloading it as an ebook today? And, as we are still firmly within the 12 days of the season, I feel comfortable in wishing all of our patrons a happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.